She calls it. Oh, good call there by Orozco. A little bit of a scramble. McGarrett. And that is it. USA is the first NCAA women's volleyball champion. Jacoby keeping his unbeaten championship record.
Okay, so some women in sports that have inspired me were the women I got to look up to while playing club volleyball. I started at such a young age, and so being able to look at ages ranging all the way up to 18, watching them and seeing them how they work every single day was so inspiring. And their leadership on the court had pushed me to want to be better as not only a female athlete, but a leader myself.
So I fell in love with volleyball because of all the friends and relationships I've made through the sport. Growing up, they were always my best friends, and I was always so excited to go to practice just to see them and play with them. So they made my love of the sport just grow even stronger.
And I was like a little ball girl, and just looking at like the college volleyball players and having them like interact with me and say hi to me and like give me high fives, that just like inspired me so much. And it like showed me that it really is possible, and it's what drove me to play college volleyball. So that was probably like my biggest inspiration.
One person in particular would be my mom. She was the first All-American at Louisville, and she just kind of introduced me to this sport and made me fall in love with it even more so.
The first really ones that come to mind are the 1999 U.S. women's national soccer team. They really did a lot of cool things. They won the World Cup that year, and just kind of they put the world on notice, like women's sports are here, women's soccer is here, and we're here to make a statement and prove that we belong.
You know, being a Minnesota girl, like Jamie Hirsch was always cool to see, like, hey, she started, you know, from a town very close to mine and took kind of a similar path to me, and it's cool to see that she's at NHL Network.
A woman in sports history that has definitely inspired me is Carrie Walsh Jennings. I think because of playing beach volleyball and the volleyball aspect, she's just somebody I've always looked up to. Throughout her successes in the Olympics, as a little girl, she's someone like I was always waiting for the TV to come on to watch her.
A couple professional athletes who are women that really inspired me growing up are Maya Moore and Lindsay Wayland. They were two of the professional women that I really looked up to. I went to many Lynx games growing up, and my traveling basketball team got to play a couple games on the court, and I went to a Maya Moore camp when I was younger, and they are both just very talented athletes, but also, more importantly, really confident women who are great leaders. But the biggest woman who has influenced me in my athletic career is my mom. She's just a boss, and she's fearless. She calls herself Fearless Reen. That's like her nickname.
My school actually did a little wax museum type thing, and I was able to play Babe Diedrichson for that event, and learning about her just from a very young age, seeing she was able to compete at a high level in baseball and basketball and track and field, and then go on to become a pro golfer. Seeing that was possible in that time era just really inspired me to want to be good at multiple different sports and want to do different things growing up. It allowed me to compete in track and volleyball all through high school and get me where I am today.
For me, Morgan Hens, because personally I watched her at Stanford growing up, and I just love her mentality and mindset while she's playing, just going after every ball. And in an interview after she won a national championship, I forgot which one, but she said to the reporter, she goes, I do this for my teammates, because I know they're working their butts off. And if I'm not, I'm doing a disservice to them. So after hearing that, I want that to be my mindset and mentality.
A woman in sports history that inspired me is Haley Eckerman, because I watched her play when I was younger, and she kind of inspired me to start playing. She's from around where I'm from in Iowa, and she is a woman of color in the volleyball sport, which is not as common as you would think, or it wasn't common like during her time.
I would say that the Nebraska volleyball team definitely inspired me the most.
For me, Misty May, who was a 3-time Olympic gold medalist for America, beach volleyball. She was one of my big inspirations, one of the reasons I kind of became obsessed with volleyball. I loved watching her play, and she was just an all-around amazing woman, and kind of just made me want to be like her when I played volleyball.
For me as a coach, I really rely on looking up to other females who are also mothers in this sport, and I think being able to juggle a bunch of things and work hard and still building those relationships and showing the other females in our sport hey, you can do this at some point too. If you want, you can work hard, and your daughter or your son or whoever is going to see that, and you're going to make a lasting impression on your kids too, right? Being able to juggle all the things and make an impact on other people's life is really big.
I think it's really empowering to see women being able to have a family and also excel in their careers. I think that used to not always happen, and so especially in the sports world, it's really inspiring to see women do that.
It's just really fun to see our sport progress to where it's gotten, and I think that each year I've been involved in volleyball that it's gotten bigger, better, more exciting. We've gotten so much more attraction to our sport, and I just think that continually, getting it out there, getting younger girls involved is just so important to our sport, and I'm just really excited to kind of see that trend continue.
I think sport is a vehicle for women to continue to drive gender equality, defy gender stereotypes, and challenge social norms. It's a space where we can show up, we can be big, we can push the status quo, and be role models to young girls all across the world.
What better way to provide examples of courage, perseverance, leadership, confidence, and overcoming adversity? The daily lessons we learn as athletes are so critical to not just our own development, but to model for our families, our work colleagues, and our community.
Seeing women really getting their foot in the door for athletics, in my opinion, is so important, because there's no reason we shouldn't be.
I think it's important for women to keep advancing in sports, because there's a stigma of men being better at sports or just naturally being more athletic than us. And I think being able to see other women continue advancing and reaching new goals, it will inspire younger girls to know that they can do that as well.